You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. There has never been a forecast discussion that has... Good Woch. It is October 4th, 2025. We're right after Parshas Ha'azinu, and we have a major heat wave taking place here in the month of October. October 2025 heat wave. Excuse me. Temperatures have gone into the 90s for 3 consecutive days. I'm going to read to you which cities that is for. That is for in Nerren, Newell, Newell, South Dakota. High temperature Thursday, 90 degrees. High Friday, 92 degrees. High temperature today hit 91 degrees, and going back to Wednesday, the high was 87 degrees. Very above normal temperatures for these locations. Kankakee, just in the south side of Chicago, hit 90 degrees yesterday, 32 degrees Celsius. High temperature today, 88 degrees. Thursday's high was 84. It's been in the mid-80s several days before that. Munster, Illinois. High temperature yesterday, 90 degrees. Today's high, 88 degrees. The heat will continue for tomorrow. We have another city here. This city is also in Illinois. It's Kirkyard Junction. High temperature yesterday and today hit 90 degrees. This is October 5th, and that's the latest observation for that location. We have another place where the temperature hit 89 degrees. This place is Garfield Ridge, Bedford Park. That's in Illinois as well. Temperature hit 89 degrees yesterday, 88 degrees today, and Spearfish, South Dakota, high temperature 90 degrees yesterday. Highs only 64 today. These are intense heat. Buffalo Chip, South Dakota. Temperature hit 93 degrees yesterday. It was also 90 degrees earlier in the week, Tuesday, and we saw at Rapid City, the temperature hit 96 degrees. This weather observation for Rapid City shows a high of 91 Thursday, 95 Friday. High temperature today, 70 degrees. We have the Redfield, South Dakota. It's that Redfield, Iowa. High temperature today was 90 degrees. That's Redfield. It's either Iowa or South Dakota. Redfield, high today 90 degrees. Yesterday's high 91. Thursday's high 88 degrees. And we have in Huron, high temperature 92 today, 92 yesterday, 86 on Thursday. These are all temperatures 30 degrees Celsius or higher. That Mitchell, that's close to Iowa already. We're looking at highs 91 today, 91 yesterday, 87 on Thursday. It definitely intense heat. The Rapid City, South Dakota area tells us the National Weather Service online, the maximum temperature was 96 degrees. That at least tied the record of 96 degrees. So our new record goes for 2025 at 96 degrees. Unbelievable stuff here. Hot temperatures are occurring across the Midwest. Chicago also saw its share of heat. High temperature yesterday, 89 degrees here in Chicago, and the high temperature today, 88 degrees. These temperatures are 20 degrees above normal, and they're within 2 degrees of the record, with the record high yesterday being 91, the record high today being 90 degrees. The intense heat is expected to continue into tomorrow, and then a cold front moves through later on Monday, but we should be able to get another day of temperatures in the 80s on Monday. The question is what happens after that. So we do have cooler high pressure moving into the area, taking control Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But if you look at the weather maps, the southwest winds really start to pick up big time by Friday, according to the European computer model, boosting those temperatures very significantly across much of the Midwest. Much of the Midwest goes into another heat wave starting Friday through Monday. Much of the Midwest will be seeing temperatures in the 80s and ultimately back into the low 90s in between that period. If that does materialize, that will be a record breaker for many locations. For Chicago's latest time of seeing 90 degrees is October 6th. Many Midwest cities have similar dates, and if the temperatures do go into the low 90s, as the European computer model is forecasting them to do for heat wave number 2. Heat wave number 1 comes to an end with cold front Monday evening. For the Chicago area, that cold front moves through the Midwest and impacts St. Louis as well. The weather forecast on Tuesday, what I saw is that temperatures would be cooler in St. Louis. We could double check that, but the cool air for sure by Wednesday makes it into St. Louis. And there's also rain, not along the front. The thinking right now is that the rain will happen behind the front and a chance for rain. We are in the midst of a drought. That decreases the chances for rain. Even when computer models show rain, the National Weather Service tells us that in years of drought, you have to really take it with a grain of salt. There might not be the same amount of rain as what the computer models are showing. But either way, storm system develops off into our west, and this thing also, it moves up into Canada. That's what's going to be dragging a cold front behind our area, reaching us sometime later on Monday. And we get into the cooler air, just normal temperatures of upper 60s, maybe even 70 degrees, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then the southwest winds really start to pick up. Why? Why did the southwest winds pick up on Friday? Because a storm system, a powerhouse storm system, starts to develop just east of the Rockies. And this thing really starts to get going on Sunday as the barometric pressure intensifies to 29.2, but it doesn't stop there. The thing becomes organized. It starts to wrap around very cold air from Canada on the backside. We even start to see snow, heavy snow on the backside. We're well in front of it. So for us, it just sucks south winds. We also have to deal with compressional warming that takes place in our area. And we could see some peak heating occurring on Sunday, maybe even Monday. This is already a week from tomorrow or a week from Monday in response to the hot air that will be likely developing ahead of this storm system, which ultimately right now is forecasted to go into the 28.77 area. Up into the Canadian area. That front moves through and brings colder air into our region. If you look at the European computer model, you'll see midweek, you'll see the term snow, but you won't actually see you'll just see the word snow. I don't know why it says snow, because you just see rain on the weather map, but maybe that's something we'll look into some other time. So there's 2 heat waves which will be impacting the Chicago area. The confidence in the heat wave is about a 10 out of 10 for heat wave number 1 because it's already ongoing. In fact, we've already seen the worst of it with a temperature of 89 degrees yesterday. Some people define a heat wave as 30 degrees Celsius or higher, 86 degrees or higher for 3 consecutive days. We have that as temperatures go up into the mid-80s again for tomorrow, even 80s again on Monday. Cold front moves through, bringing more seasonable temperatures. And then the question is, what's going to happen for next week? Heat wave number 2 develops, affects portions of the plains, and the question is, will it spread into the Chicago area? We have a trough out on the East Coast, bringing cooler than average temperatures, and we have a ridge by the plains bringing hotter than normal temperatures. And the question is, where will Chicago be? Well, you look at that storm system, as we said, that will be developing over the weekend, especially by Sunday, bringing a strong southwest flow into the Chicago area. It's very reasonable to think that we will be getting some very unseasonably warm air into this region with temperatures solidly in the 80s. And when you head into places like St. Louis, other locations, we could see temperatures back into the low 90s. Really a repeat of what's happening this weekend. The thing that one has to be careful for is that since we do have a trough on the East Coast, the low pressure on the East Coast many times tends to bring winds off the lake. But that is something to deal with during the week this week, and the lake isn't really that cold. So that's why temperatures are going to drop into the 70s, maybe even cooler along the lake. That's for the mid part of this week. The rain chances for this week, we go again Monday night right behind the front. The precipitation along the front, the National Weather Service is thinking right now that that's not going to happen, but we might see some precipitation behind the front. And then stuff in response to next weekend's storm system. looking at the European computer model, just to look at the, just give me 1 second to look at it for real. Where is it? We have, that's already, let's see, do we have it? We have the, this is already on the 14th. The 14th, you see Tuesday the 14th, you see the heat continues for places like St. Louis, 88 degrees, but we're already in the cooler air for Chicago, lower 60s. But when you go into the 12th, 11th and 12th, that's when you see this rainmaker. But it's well north of Chicago. It remains well north of Chicago. The rain, all you really see is Monday at 7 a.m. But the National Weather Service thinks that rain, due to the drought, that rain might not happen. And the rain that is more likely to happen is the rain that comes in after the front moves through, which would be Monday night. But, you look at this again. Let's give this one more check. So we're looking at a low pressure system tomorrow developing over in the Colorado area of 29.5. That thing moves northeast and it intensifies to 29.4. By the time you get to 6 a.m. or so, it's already close to 29.3, headed to the Canadian border. And that's going to be bringing a south flow of warm temperatures into our region. That's part of the reason why temperatures are going to be in the 80s. Now, we have an area of precipitation that starts up Sunday night, according to the European computer model, in Iowa, which eventually makes its way over to the Chicago area much later in the day, more like Monday evening. Some of that, the National Weather Service feels, might not happen. But the end part of it, the National Weather Service is putting a chance for precipitation into our area Monday night, despite the dry air, because we do have a front moving through. High pressure behind the front of 30.32 will center itself over southern Nebraska, and that's going to be the case for Tuesday. We'll be under a north flow on Tuesday due to this high pressure. It's going to gradually move into Wisconsin, and we remain under a north flow for Tuesday. And then we gradually, as the thing moves east, the winds come out of the east on Wednesday. And by Thursday already, we already have a southeast wind here in the Chicago area, as that high pressure of 30.5 has moved off to the northeast. And by Thursday afternoon, much of the area is already starting to have southwest winds, and we have a front. And it's almost like one has to wonder whether that's a warm front, the rain that comes in Thursday night. It looks like a very iffy rain, if anything, a very iffy rain. And because right behind that rain moves in, the winds just really take over out of the southwest. That's on Friday. So, maybe that's a warm front rain. It's hard to know. But that's on the day Friday. There could be some precipitation in the area, according to the European computer model, and Friday night as well. But then once that lifts out of the area for Shabbos, we get really strong, a solid southwest flow. A solid southwest flow of unseasonably warm air for Shabbos, and that continues into Sunday as a powerhouse storm develops in southern Manitoba. It looks, or southern, I believe that's Manitoba. 28.96 is the barometric pressure, but it doesn't do much over here. It's bringing snow on the backside, and we continue into Sunday, remaining dry. Sunday, October 12th, we do see some rain as another low pressure system starts to develop in southern Kansas at 29.6, starts to spread some rain into portions of the Midwest, Missouri, but this low pressure system is nothing compared to the one that's going off in Canada. The southwest winds do continue, but there is a front associated with that, and then that weaker front seems to move through already by Monday. So a place like St. Louis could continue to be in the heat. Some say Chicago will also be in the heat. That's an iffy. We do see some areas in the Midwest which will be getting snow by that day, Monday, October 13th. And by Tuesday, the front is pretty much stationary. A very interesting situation for this time of the year to have a stationary front just centered over the country. It just doesn't seem to move, this front, for the 14th and the 15th, and it gradually starts to move south by the 16th. This high pressure centers itself over in Wisconsin at 30.4, and it pushes that front all the way out to sea as a new system starts to form. Now we're already getting into, we're getting all the way out into Saturday, October 18th, when we're under high pressure. But we end off with, by Sunday the 19th, it looks like southwest winds return. But another storm system develops out west. We're going to quickly take a look at AccuWeather, actually, for the Skokie area. It looks like it's showing the high temperature for Skokie today was 87 degrees. We know it actually hit 88 at O'Hare. Summer-like temperatures were today for Shabbos, 87 degrees. Sunny to partly cloudy tomorrow, temperatures in the mid-80s. That's in response to that storm system out west. Winds remain south, 14 miles per hour. The warmth continues Sunday night. And then Monday, that's remaining very warm with sun, followed by increasing clouds and a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon. That's in response to the front. The National Weather Service did say, when in drought, leave out. That's in response to the front. Could be a thunderstorm, but there might not be. But temperatures rising again to 83 degrees. Now, Monday night is when we're dealing with the showers that come in after the front has already moved through. That one, the National Weather Service thinks there's a higher chance of that one happening. So AccuWeather tells us cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, lows in the low 60s. Notice how the temperatures remain above room temperature throughout the night, Monday night. So the sleeping conditions remain not bad. Tuesday, we remain with room temperatures with a high of 69 degrees. Highs in the upper 60s, a couple of morning showers and a thunderstorm. Then we have that high pressure system take in. We have a high in the upper 60s for Tuesday. Now, it does show that Tuesday night with clear skies, temperature might drop under 59 degrees. A little bit cool, but light north-northwest winds, lows in the mid-50s. Wednesday, sunshine, highs in the mid-60s. Winds not bad. Wednesday night, clear, lows in the low to mid-50s. Thursday, sunshine, highs in the mid to upper 60s. Now, Thursday night is really when, to me, it looks like there's a warm front, and that's the precipitation chance for Thursday night, becoming cloudy with a thunderstorm in spots. That is a significant warm front that's moving through. Winds south to southwest at 10 miles per hour. If we get the thunderstorm, it's associated with a warm front. That's what the weather map shows. Lows in the mid-50s, and then Friday the temperatures jump into the upper 70s. We have southwest winds here, and we remain cloudy. Lows Friday night, room temperature continues upper 50s, and then Shabbos it becomes warmer. Well, the same, mid to upper 70s. The front doesn't exactly make it through, however. We do have some northeast winds for Shabbos, and then Sunday we remain warm. Winds are from the south-southeast. Highs mid to upper 70s. In order to get a real feel for the warmth, you have to go to Kankakee. And then we'll get a better feel for, what's going to be happening on this weather synopsis. Is we have Thursday night We have partly cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area, low 48. The winds are from the south at 10 miles per hour, and 24 hours before that, the winds were from the east. So it does appear the warm front is moving through. Friday, a strong morning thunderstorm for Kankakee. This is the south side of Chicago, the south suburbs of Chicago. Mostly sunny and very warm. West to southwest winds, highs in the upper 70s. The front is stationary, a strange weather pattern, and it kind of moves a little bit south. For Shabbos, that's the current forecast, pushing slightly cooler temperatures into the region with highs in the mid-70s. But by Sunday, we go back behind the warmer air and temperatures in the mid-70s. It's a very tricky situation for our area. And to get out of the tricky area, we might actually have to go all the way down to University City, Missouri. And maybe over there, we'll be able to figure out what's really going on here. Because we have Thursday night, we have wind south. That's the winds are south. And we go Friday, sunny and very warm, highs in the mid-80s. Friday night, this is the October 10th, Friday night, partly cloudy, lows near 60 degrees. And again, it does show a stationary front. Winds become east for that Shabbos, with highs getting a little bit cooler, upper 70s, still significantly above normal. And the winds do become south, but not southwest, until Sunday night. Sunday night, we finally get the southwest winds. The temperatures go into the low to mid-80s, and then we're back into the low 80s as well on Monday, despite the fact that winds are out of the north. So even St. Louis gets in on the cooler air. Maybe we might have to go all the way to Memphis. Memphis, we see highs in the upper 70s tomorrow with warm and humid conditions. And then we get a thunderstorm on Monday. That's due to the front. But the front, I don't know if the front ever makes it through, because temperatures remain close to 80 degrees Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The winds become southwest already by Friday. They remain southwest. Again, Saturday, winds do become northwest again. Back to southwest on Sunday and southwest on Monday, bringing in the peak heating Sunday and Monday with highs in Saturday, Sunday, Monday with highs in the 80s. So we do have two heat waves coming through. The first one there's high confidence in. The second one is a little bit trickier for our area. You really have to go out west. I think when you go out west, it's not going to be that tricky. Topeka, Kansas, highs in the mid-80s with south winds. Monday is when the front pushes through. Winds become northeast. The temperatures drop into the 70s, drop into the upper 60s for Tuesday. The winds start to turn around again. East-southeast Wednesday, 70 degrees. Then Thursday, winds become south, 79 degrees. They become southwest again Friday, and it's solid southwest with highs in the mid-80s. And we have a heavy shower possible Friday night. It does seem like some type of a front, I guess, pushes through because winds become southeast for Shabbos, in the low 80s. But south, and then the winds become southwest again. Well, it's not clear. It's not 100% clear what's going on with the second wave of heat. is happening, but it doesn't have the same clarity as the first. Anyways, I wish everybody a wonderful evening. Have a Chag Kosher v'Sameach. Thank you for listening if you made it this far. I just wanted to go over the songs that we're hearing in the background. Right now you're hearing me play the piano. I'm playing this at a nursing home. The piano was broken, but I did the best I can do. So you're hearing Al Kol Eila, that's the name of the song. You heard Hamalach HaGoel before, and you'll continue to hear music. We'll just keep it on. We heard Borrow from Blue Dot Sessions earlier. We heard Glass Beads from Blue Dot Sessions earlier. We heard Waltz from Zakaria from Blue Dot Sessions. We heard that earlier. For a short period of time, we heard Curious Outcomes, Blue Dot Sessions. Right now, you could hear the, I think it's called Scar, is it Forrest Gump? It's a song in the background of that movie. We heard Dramatic Piano and Strings by Pink Zebra, Audio Jungle. We heard Atlantic Tunes Calm by Background. It's a podcast maker. And we heard we heard Trans-Siberian Express by Luella Gren, Luellagren, and then Journey Through the Desert, Traceway. And right now, here we are at this song, me playing the piano. We're gonna just briefly, okay, this is Sound of Silence, but as you'll see, the song doesn't go through 100%, but we'll listen to it anyways. And just a summary again, we have Heatwave number 1 for this week, ends Monday evening. Heatwave number 2, Chicago ends up either along the front, which means the heat doesn't 100% materialize, but we get warm anyways. Instead of upper 80s, it's upper 70s, or we end behind the front where we get into the upper 80s. Most likely, we'll at least get behind the front for one of those days. Chance for thunderstorms looks like as the warm air approaches Thursday night or Friday morning. We have a chance of that, but it is a drought, so it might not happen. And then periodic, perhaps some showers if we are along the front, but it may not happen because this is a year of drought. So either way, it's a period of above normal temperatures. And now we're going to take a listen. The 2 chances of rain, again, Monday night, and again, perhaps Thursday night, something like that, and dry for Tuesday afternoon through Thursday evening. We're going to take a look to the listen. We're going to take a listen to the music. Again, the piano's broken, but I hope everyone enjoys. Chazu bonai what's going on with the song? Oh, there's the key broken. Another key broken. On the Tsaros Oskin bechedvas L'rishtachon b'tzaros telon Oskin bechedvas Chazur, chazur